Part 1. Bones, Joints, Ligaments, How They're Really Built and Why They Start to Fall Apart. Brief aim of this part. Provide a clear map of the terrain, what bones, joints, and ligaments are made of, how they function, when and why they degrade. Show that collagen isn't powder from a jar, but a material plus processes, digestion, hormonal signals, mechanical load, regeneration during sleep, form the foundation without which any supplements and exercises yield weak results. What healthy mechanics of the musculoskeletal system means. Imagine a house. Bones are the load-bearing walls and beams. Joints are the hinges and guides that allow movement without play. Ligaments are the seatbelts and stops that keep the trajectory in check. Muscles are the engines. Fascia are the force transmission system and the sheath. When the house is properly designed, bones are strong, hinges are lubricated, and stops hold. Inside, it's quiet, warm, and safe. When materials are skimped on or codes are violated somewhere, squeaks, play, cracks, and warping begin. The body works the same way. If even one component sags, load moves to neighboring elements. Pain and swelling increase, the nervous system gets fatigued. Bone isn't a stone, but a living composite. An organic framework of type 1 collagen gives flexibility and fracture toughness, the capacity to resist cracks. Minerals, primarily hydroxyapatite of calcium and phosphorus, provide stiffness and load-bearing capacity. Without the protein framework, bone is brittle like chalk. Without minerals, it's soft like rubber. The optimum is balance, and it's dynamic. Osteoclasts dismantle old bone. Osteoblasts build new bone. For construction, amino acids, vitamin C, vitamin D3, vitamin K2, calcium, magnesium, trace elements, and a stimulus in the form of load are required. A joint isn't just a hinge. It's a complex organ. Cartilage is a vascular tissue. It's nourished by diffusion from synovial fluid. Synovial fluid is both lubricant and broth. It contains hyaluronin, proteoglycans, and components that reduce friction. The capsule and synovial membrane are a protective shell and a lubricant factory. The poorer the movement quality and the greater the inflammation, the poorer the synovial composition, the drier the cartilage, the higher the friction and wear. Ligaments and tendons are cables of dense connective tissue with a high content of type 1 collagen aligned along the line of load. Their strength and elasticity depend on regular, correct tension and a sufficient supply of building material. Too little movement? Atrophy. Too much without recovery? Micro-injuries, degradation, pain. Fascia are a film orchestra, three-dimensional collagen sheets that envelop muscles, organs, vessels, and nerves, connecting everything to everything. When fascia sticks, movement becomes jerky, the muscle tires quickly, nociceptors get irritated more often. Conclusion: MSK Health is the synchronous work of a bone composite, the joint as an organ, the cable-like ligaments, and the fascial mesh, given sufficient material and adequate mechanics. Collagen: material, cycles, breakdowns. Collagen is the main protein of connective tissue. Type 1, bone, ligaments, tendons. Type 2, cartilage. Type 3, vascular wall, elastic structures. Numerous other types are specialists for niches. The body synthesizes collagen constantly from amino acids, glycine, proline, hydroxyproline, with vitamin C as an obligatory cofactor for hydroxylation. If raw materials or cofactors are lacking, instead of high-quality fibers, unfinished collagen results, weak and unstable. Why? I eat collagen yet see little benefit. Gastrointestinal tract. Stomach pH should be between 1.5 and 2.0, otherwise protein is underdigested. Adequate pancreatic protease activity is needed for fat-soluble vitamins. Adequate bile. A weak link at any stage means amino acids won't arrive. Small intestinal microbiome. Dysbiosis and post-antibiotic states reduce mucosal trophism and nutrient transport. Glycation. Excess sugar caramelizes proteins, making them brittle and impairing remodeling. Oxidative stress and smoking accelerate breakdown of collagen structures. Sleep debt and chronic stress dampen hormonal recovery signals, elevate cortisol, a catabolic background. Practice. What will improve the collagen flow right now? Before dense protein meals, 1 to 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar and water, if there's no reflux or gastritis flare. Temporary enzyme support. Formulas with betaine, HCl, oxbile, pancreatin, proteases or lipase, amylase, taken with the heaviest meals. Vitamin C on the plate. 100 to 150 grams of sauerkraut daily, plus peppers or berries. Tablets as insurance, not a replacement for food. Cut sugars. Remove sweet drinks, reserve desserts for occasions, serve fruit in portions, emphasize berries. Sleep 7 to 8 hours in stable windows. Without sleep, connective tissue remodeling slows dramatically. Protein and sources of the right collagen. Target during recovery is 1.5 grams protein per kilogram body weight. At 70 kilograms, approximately 105 grams per day, not necessarily at once, but evenly across 3 to 4 meals. Sources: meat, poultry, fish, eggs, cottage cheese or yogurt if tolerated, legumes as an add-on. Connective tissue rich: bone broths, shank or oxtail, poultry skin, fish soup with skin or bones, aspic or jelly set with gelatin. Collagen powder: 5 to 15 grams 15 minutes before the main meal. Convenient, helps top up amino acids matching the collagen profile.
Recipe cues without a chef. Broth 12 hours at a gentle simmer with a spoon of vinegar. Better releases amino acids and minerals. Fish soup from humble fish with skin and bones, affordable and rich in gelatin. Shank or oxtail in a multi-cooker, minimal effort, maximal collagen. The joint is an organ that loves the right lube and right movement. Cartilage is nourished when you move. Each calm repetition acts like a pump. Synovial fluid flows in and carries metabolites out. Movement without impact and through a large range is the best mode. This is why water is so effective. Buoyancy reduces axial load. Hydrostatic pressure improves venous return and lymphatic drainage. Less swelling, better nourishment. Water's viscous resistance loads muscles without microtrauma to cartilage and menisci. Mini practicum for dry days. Joint hygiene, 10 to 15 minutes, neck, shoulders, thoracic spine, hips, knees, ankles, circles, cat-cow, pelvic tilts, gentle lunges with support. Breathing 4 to 6 minutes before sleep. Lengthen the exhale, lower sympathetic tone. This directly contributes to regeneration. Why without vitamin D3, K2, calcium, and magnesium, the bricks don't arrive? Collagen is only the framework. For bone to bear load, mineral is needed. For the joint to glide, adequate synovia is needed. For ligaments to hold, timely relaying of fibers is needed. Vitamin D3 raises calcium absorption and modulates numerous pathways from immune to hormonal. Vitamin K2 activates the couriers that deliver calcium into bone rather than into the vascular wall. Magnesium is a cofactor for enzymes and an anti-stress mineral that supports the neuromuscular system. Calcium is the filler of the framework, but form matters. Lactate, citrate are tolerated more predictably than carbonate. Details thoroughly in Part 2. Typical degradation scenarios and how to reverse them. I sit, it hurts. I move, it's even worse. Start with water and micro ranges. The principle often and gently beats rarely and hard. I take collagen, zero effect. Check GI, pH, enzymes, and bile. Add plate-based vitamin C. Cut sugar. Normalize sleep. I drink calcium, my heart feels strained. Check the calcium form. Add K2 and D3 in correct doses. Magnesium in the evening. Replace dose overload with regularity. It hurts after the pool. Roll back volume by 20 to 30% for 10 days. Keep frequency. Monitor technique and breathing. Add cooling and gentle stretching. A 14-day starter plan to enter the routine. Days 1 to 3. Daily water 30 to 35 milliliters per kilogram. Remove sweet drinks, plus 100 to 150 grams sauerkraut. 10 minutes of joint hygiene in the morning, 20 to 30 minutes of walking during the day. Days 4 to 7, add one water session of 30 to 40 minutes. Collagen 5 to 10 grams 15 minutes before the highest protein meal. Enzymes with the densest meals as needed. Days 8 to 10, step up protein to 1.5 grams per kilogram. In the water, plus 5 to 10 minutes, no more than a 20% weekly increase. Days 11 to 14, introduce D3 plus K2 per protocol. Details next part. Calcium lactate, citrate in divided doses. Magnesium 200 to 400 milligrams in the evening. Assess sleep and morning stiffness. FAQs on the basics. How many times a day to take collagen? 1 to 2 times, 5 to 15 grams, preferably 15 minutes before a main meal. What if dairy doesn't suit me? Protein and calcium can be obtained from other foods and forms. Calcium lactate is not lactose. Can I do without the pool? Yes, but it's trickier. Substitute with low-intensity elliptical or bike. Add more joint hygiene and control impact loads. How long to wait for improvements? First shifts 2 to 3 weeks. Stiffness, swelling, and sleep. Stable changes 8 to 12 weeks with a consistent routine. Mistakes that break the foundation. Rare and heavy instead of often and moderate. Powder instead of plate. Collagen without protein and vitamin C. Random calcium. Carbonate without D3 and K2 and at low acidity. Diet without sleep. Chronic sleep debt. Immediately chasing speed in the pool. Technique and breathing trump distance. Key takeaway of this part. The musculoskeletal system isn't a bolt that needs oil. It's a living ecosystem of materials like collagen and minerals and processes like digestion, circulation, neurohormonal regulation, mechanical stimulation, and nightly regeneration. If you provide the right environment, it remodels toward strength and endurance. Next part, an in-depth look at mineralization, correct calcium forms, the role of D3 and K2 and magnesium, and rules of intake without risks for vessels and the heart.
Part 2. Mineralization without risks. Calcium, D3 plus K2, magnesium, and how to deliver minerals into bone, not into vessels. Brief aim of this part. Explain why calcium alone doesn't solve bone density and joint stability. Show which calcium forms work at different stomach acidity and GI states. Clarify how the D3 plus K2 bundle opens the gates and writes the address for calcium, while magnesium ensures enzymatic processes and safety. Provide step-by-step 120-day protocols and common correction scenarios. Why calcium isn't cement, but logistics. A common myth says, low calcium, just take calcium. In reality, bone is a protein-mineral composite in which the collagen framework provides the rebar and the mineral phase fills and strengthens the structure. If the rebar is scarce or misaligned, a mineral add-on won't make the house sturdy. You need simultaneously framework material, collagen profile amino acids plus vitamin C, Mineral delivery logistics, D3 raises absorption, K2 directs it into bone. Cofactors, magnesium, trace elements. Mechanical stimulation, low-impact loading, water, walking, elliptical. Because of failures in logistics, sometimes people end up depositing calcium in soft tissues and vessel walls, calcification that reduces elasticity and raises risk. Calcium forms, when and what to choose. The practical question isn't how much to take, but which form and how to match it to your GI tract. Calcium carbonate. What it is, the most common, inexpensive form with a high percentage of elemental calcium, about 40%. Pros: economical per milligram per tablet. Cons: requires high stomach acidity to dissolve, more often causes heaviness, gas, and constipation. With low acidity or antacid use, absorption is markedly worse. Who it suits? Those with a strong stomach and taking it with food. With reflux or gastritis and low acidity, better avoid. Calcium citrate. What it is, an organic salt of citric acid, bioavailable at low acidity, can be taken regardless of meals. Pros: better tolerated by a sensitive GI tract. Less constipating, convenient for older adults and those on antacids. Cons: lower fraction of elemental calcium, about 21%, so tablet doses are bulkier or more frequent. Calcium lactate. What it is, a salt of lactic acid, a gentle, well-soluble form. Pros: high tolerability, less dependent on pH. Often available as chewables or liquids. Cons: lower elemental fraction, about 13%, requiring more units to reach daily targets. Important: no lactose or milk protein. This isn't dairy. Tolerability is usually good. Other forms, briefly. Gluconate, gentle but very low elemental calcium. Chelates, well tolerated, pricier. Phosphate, less common. Coral is a marketing variant of carbonate. Practical rule: if low acidity and/or a sensitive GI tract are suspected, start with citrate or lactate. Leave carbonate to those with a clockwork stomach and consistent with-food dosing. Gate and address. D3 plus K2 as a navigation system. Role of D3. Increases intestinal calcium absorption. Regulates expression of calcium-binding proteins. Influences immunity, mood, muscle function, and overall recovery. Role of K2. Activates osteocalcin, which integrates calcium into the bone matrix. Activates matrix GLA protein, which sweeps calcium out of vessel walls, reducing soft tissue calcification risk. In practice, it makes calcium delivery addressable. Into bone, yes. Into vessels, no. Which K2 form? MK7, the long form, more stable in blood, convenient for ongoing use. MK4, shorter action, used clinically as well, but MK7 is more common for daily nutrition. Look for K2, MK7 on the label. If the form isn't specified, it's a gamble. Dose guidelines. General purpose, not tied to lab tests. D3. For body mass greater than 75 kilograms, many choose 8,000 to 10,000 IUs every other day for 30 days to lift status, then 2,000 to 4,000 IUs daily for maintenance. For less than 75 kilograms, proportionately less. K2 MK7, 100 to 200 micrograms on D3 days. At greater than 75 kilograms, many stay closer to 200 micrograms. Take with meals containing fats or in an oil-based form. A once-weekly blast for D3 is inferior for level stability and well-being. Steady dosing is better. Magnesium, the cofactor that greases the processes. Magnesium participates in activation of vitamin D pathways, affects neuromuscular transmission, vascular tone, and sleep. Without adequate magnesium, logistics of calcium and D-dependent processes suffer. Forms: glycinate, gentle for the nervous system and sleep; malate, more energizing for daytime; taurate, for cardiovascular support. Dose: 200 to 400 milligrams elemental magnesium daily, often in the evening. Sign of excess: looser stools. Use this as your upper tolerable guide. Safety: how to avoid calcium going where it shouldn't. Add K2 consistently. It binds calcium to bone matrix and protects vessels. Remove liquid sugar and daily desserts. Glycation damages the protein matrix and fuels inflammation. Move regularly. Low-impact activity lowers inflammatory tone and supports remodeling. Split calcium into 2 doses. Avoid large single doses before bedtime. Watch bowel habits and abdominal comfort. Compatibility: iron and calcium compete for transport, separate them. High-dose zinc is better taken separately as well. 120-day mineralization protocol, scenario-based. Foundation, daily. Protein 1.5 grams per kilogram. Vegetables 500 grams per day. Sauerkraut 100 to 150 grams per day. Water 30 to 35 milliliters per kilogram. Collagen 5 to 15 grams 15 minutes before 1 or 2 main meals. Activity: 8 to 10K steps or 45 to 60 minutes in water 3 to 5 times per week, plus dry joint hygiene 10 to 15 minutes daily. Minerals and vitamins. D3 Lift Month. Greater than 75 kilograms, 8,000 to 10,000 IUs every other day for 30 days. Less than 75 kilograms, proportionately less. Then maintenance, 2,000 to 4,000 IUs daily. K2 MK7, 100 to 200 micrograms on D3 days. At greater than 75 kilograms, many stay closer to 200 micrograms. Calcium, citrate or lactate, to total 300 to 600 milligrams elemental daily, split. If diet is calcium-rich, sardines with bones, leafy greens, sesame or tahini, cottage cheese if tolerated, supplement doses can be lower. Magnesium, 200 to 400 milligrams in the evening, glycinate or taurate if sleep or relax needed, malate if daytime energy needed. Omega-3, fish 3 to 4 times per week or 1 to 2 grams EPA and DHA in courses for gentle anti-inflammatory support. How to know things are on track. At 2 to 3 weeks, less morning stiffness, easier warm-up, less reactive pain after walking or water sessions. At 6 to 8 weeks, greater range of motion, reduced periarticular puffiness, deeper sleep.
By weeks 12 to 16, 60 minutes in water without next-day setback, steps feel easier, crunching and catching are rarer. Common cases and adjustments. Case 1. Heart feels strained, heart rate jumps on calcium. Check the form, switch to lactate or citrate, split doses, and move to daytime rather than late evening. Add K2, MK7 consistently. Check pairing with D3. Increase evening magnesium within tolerance. Review caffeine intake and evening salt load. Case 2. Bloating, constipation. Reduce single calcium dose, use smaller steps and split dosing. Switch to citrate, lactate, add water and fiber. Probiotic foods such as sauerkraut can be appropriate. Enzyme support with dense meals for 2 to 3 weeks. Case 3. Taking D3, little effect. Often it's dose and regularity. Ditch once weekly, dose smaller and more often. Take with fats, consider fatty liver impact. Low glycemic eating and activity improve utilization. Step up for a month, then hold maintenance. Case 4. Night cramps. Magnesium in the evening, glycinate or taurate, rehydration, a bit of salt at dinner if no contraindications. Reassess potassium from the plate, leafy greens, vegetables, legumes. Discuss supplements if needed. Case 5. Afraid of vascular calcification? Don't use naked calcium without K2, watch sugars, lean on fish or omegas, and keep moving. Moderate doses, split dosing, and consistent K2 are pillars of safety. Compatibility and daily timing. Example: morning, D3 plus K2 with breakfast or snack containing fats. Midday, calcium in the first half of the day with food, citrate, lactate, water, and walking. Evening, the second calcium dose if needed to hit the target, magnesium before bed. Collagen 1 to 2 times 15 minutes before a main protein meal. Pool days, 1 collagen serving 30 to 60 minutes pre-swim, the second in the post-swim eating window. Questions and answers. Can I take everything at once? Prefer not, spread them out. You'll reduce GI discomfort and improve absorption, especially of calcium. If I eat lots of greens and sardines with bones, do I need calcium supplements? Sometimes, no. Audit real portions. Greens, sesame or Tahiti, sardines, legumes, mineral waters. If you reach targets from food and have no risks, focus on D3 plus K2 and magnesium. How long to keep this protocol? At least 12 to 16 weeks, then some elements become lifestyle mode. D3 plus K2 seasonally or by labs, magnesium in cycles, calcium per diet and GI state. Is lactate dairy? No, it's a salt of lactic acid. It contains no lactose or casein, usually well tolerated even by those avoiding dairy. What about phosphorus? Ca to P balance matters. Excess phosphorus from soda or fast food is a bad idea. A normal diet with meat or fish doesn't create a problem. Don't overuse soft drinks or processed foods. Typical mistakes and how to fix them. Naked calcium without K2 and D3, add the combo, adjust doses, separate in time. Sparse massive D3 doses, split and keep levels steady. Carbonate for everyone, consider acidity and GI. More often choose citrate or lactate. Lots of supplements, zero movement. Without mechanical stimulation, remodeling is sluggish. Neglecting magnesium, cramps, anxiety, nominal D3 effect, add it in the evening. Part summary. Mineralization isn't dumping calcium into the body, it's precision logistics, a collagen framework, plus D3 as the gate, plus K2 as the address, plus magnesium as enzymatic lubrication, plus gentle, regular loading. The right calcium form for your GI tract and routine, moderate doses, a consistent schedule. This is how bone truly strengthens, ligaments hold, and vessels stay elastic.
Part 3. Nutrition that lubricates joints, a 7-day plan, recipes, supplement timing, and budget shopping lists. Brief aim of this part. Provide a ready weekly meal plan at 1.5 gram protein per kilogram without overloading the budget or GI tract. Ensure a daily influx of collagen profile amino acids, vitamin C, and fiber for absorption. Lower inflammatory tone and glycation so collagen and mineralization actually arrive in tissues. Integrate D3 plus K2, calcium, and magnesium into the schedule so they don't hinder each other's absorption. Core plate principles. Half the plate, vegetables and greens, at least 1 vitamin C source per day from the plate, pepper, berries, or sauerkraut. A quarter, protein, eggs, fish, poultry, beef, or cottage cheese as tolerated. A quarter, smart carbs, buckwheat, pearl barley, chickpeas or lentils, sweet potatoes, brown rice, in a palm portion, mainly after activity. Fats as an accent. Extra virgin olive oil, avocado, nuts and seeds in portions. Minimize high heat frying. Water, 30 to 35 milliliters per kilogram, some volume before or after pool sessions. Coffee up to 2 cups with water compensation. Collagen, 5 to 15 grams 15 minutes before 1 to 2 main meals daily. Supplement timing and routine. Morning, D3 plus K2 with food containing fats. Daytime, calcium, lactate or citrate in split doses separate from large iron or zinc doses. Evening, magnesium 200 to 400 milligrams, then a digital sunset 4 to 6 minutes of breathing, 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Collagen, before protein meals. On water days, one serving 30 to 60 minutes pre-swim, the second after, in the feeding window. Pillars to stock for the week. Collagen rich, beef shank or oxtail, turkey with skin, chicken frames or wings, fish with skin or bones, gelatin. Protein, eggs, turkey, chicken, lean beef, fish, salmon, mackerel, or herring, frozen is fine, cottage cheese or yogurt if tolerated, lentils or chickpeas. Vitamin C and fiber, white cabbage for fermenting, bell pepper, mixed berries, broccoli or cauliflower, spinach, herbs, onion, and garlic. Smart carbs, buckwheat, pearl barley, brown rice, sweet potatoes, quinoa, optional. Fats and spices, olive oil, sesame or tahini, nuts, almond or hazelnut, flaxseed, turmeric, plus black pepper, paprika, apple cider vinegar. Drinks, water, unsweetened tea, non-sugary mineral water. 7-day meal plan, options to choose. Day 1. Breakfast, 3 egg omelet with spinach and onion, sauerkraut 100 grams, tea or water. Snack, Greek yogurt 150 to 200 grams, a handful of berries. Lunch, bone broth 350 milliliters, turkey 160 to 200 grams, buckwheat, palm, cabbage, cucumber, herb salad. Snack, collagen 10 grams 15 minutes before dinner, apple or cucumber if desired. Dinner, salmon or mackerel 150 to 200 grams, roasted vegetables, a quarter avocado. Day 2. Breakfast, oatmeal with water or plant milk plus whey isolate, berries, flaxseed. Snack, a handful of nuts, carrots, or celery. Lunch, braised beef shank 180 grams, pearl barley palm, broccoli with olive oil. Snack, collagen 5 to 10 grams, sweet pepper slices. Dinner, turkey 180 grams plus ratatouille, brown rice half palm after training. Day 3. Breakfast, 3 soft-boiled eggs, cottage cheese 150 grams or an alternative, cabbage 100 grams. Snack, kiwi or berries, tea. Lunch, fish soup with skin on fish, chicken breast 160 to 180 grams, leafy salad with pepper and herbs. Snack, collagen 10 grams, yogurt or kefir. Dinner, lean beef steak 160 grams, roasted sweet potato, cucumber herb salad. Day 4. Breakfast, omelet with mushrooms, cabbage 100 grams, water or tea. Snack, protein shake, cucumber or pepper. Lunch, braised turkey 180 grams, chickpeas, palm, salad with sesame or tahini. Snack, collagen 5 to 10 grams, a handful of nuts. Dinner, baked skin on fish 160 to 200 grams, cauliflower, a quarter avocado. Day 5. Breakfast, buckwheat with 2 or 3 eggs, cabbage 100 grams. Snack, yogurt 150 grams, a handful of berries. Lunch, broth 350 to 400 milliliters, oxtail or shank 160 to 200 grams, pearl barley palm, broccoli. Snack, collagen 10 grams, apple or cucumber. Dinner, chicken with skin 180 grams, vegetable ragu, herbs. Day 6. Pool-oriented. Breakfast, 3 egg omelet with leafy salad, tea or water. D3 plus K2. 45 to 60 minutes pre-swim. Light snack, yogurt or a handful of nuts, plus collagen 10 to 15 grams. Post-swim, lunch. Broth 350 to 400 milliliters, turkey 180 to 200 grams, pearl barley palm, cabbage 100 grams. Snack, a handful of berries. Dinner, fish 160 to 200 grams, roasted vegetables, evening magnesium. Day 7. Breakfast, cottage cheese 200 grams plus berries, tea or water, cabbage 100 grams. Snack, protein or nuts small handful. Lunch, braised beef 180 grams, quinoa palm, salad with pepper and herbs. Snack, collagen 10 grams. Dinner, turkey or chicken, steamed or roasted vegetables, olive oil.
Core recipes. Slow bone broth. Soup set, frames, wings, or shank. 1 tablespoon apple cider vinegar. Cover with water. Bring to a gentle simmer and cook 6 to 12 hours. Chill, skim excess fat if desired. Salt at the end. Portion, and keep 3 to 4 days refrigerated or freeze in cups. Gelatin-rich fish soup. Whole fish, heads, skin, bones, onion, carrot, pepper, bay leaf. Simmer gently, avoid hard boiling. Serve with herbs, don't discard skin and meat by the bone. Shank or oxtail in a multi-cooker. Onion or carrot on the bottom, meat chunks, spices, a little bit of water, cook 6 to 8 hours. You get meat and a gelling sauce, collagen on the plate. Sauerkraut. Shred 2 heads, add 1.5 tablespoons salt per kilogram, carrot optional, massage well, pack under weight, 2 to 3 days at room temperature, then refrigerated. Vent daily. Variants for dietary needs. Dietary free. Meat calcium via citrate or lactate. Protein from meat, fish, eggs, or legumes. Swap yogurt for unsweetened coconut yogurt or omit. Vitamin D3 and K2 unchanged. Semi-vegetarian. Eggs, fish, legumes as anchors. Collagen as a supplement. More seeds, sesame, pumpkin, and sardines with bones for calcium. D3 plus K2 plus magnesium as planned. Sensitive GI. Raise protein stepwise by 20 to 30 grams every 3 to 4 days. Favor cooked vegetables, more broths, fewer coarse raw salads. Fiber up gradually.
Shopping lists. Weekly, roughly for 1 to 2 people. Protein. Eggs, 20 to 30. Turkey or chicken, 2 to 3 kilograms, thigh, breast, or frames. Beef shank, oxtail, 1.5 to 2 kilograms. Fish, 1.5 to 2 kilograms, some with skin. Cottage cheese or yogurt, as tolerated, 1 to 2 kilograms per week. Collagen, jar or packs 200 to 500 grams. Vegetables, greens, and fruit. White cabbage, 2 heads for fermenting. Broccoli, cauliflower, 3 to 4 heads or bags. Bell pepper, 6 to 8. Carrot, beet, onion, garlic, assorted. Leafy greens, lettuce, spinach, arugula, 4 to 6 bunches. Mixed berries, 1 to 2 kilograms, frozen okay. Avocado, 2 to 3, optional. Carbs, buckwheat, 1 kilogram. Pearl barley, 1 kilogram. Brown rice, 1 kilogram. Sweet potatoes, 1 to 2 kilograms. Lentils or chickpeas, 1.5 to 2 kilograms. Fats and misc. Olive oil, 0.5 to 1 liter. Nuts and seeds, 500 to 800 grams total. Flaxseed, 300 to 500 grams. Sesame, tahini, 300 to 500 grams. Apple cider vinegar, 0.5 liters. Spices, turmeric, black pepper, paprika, and bay. Glycemic discipline without sectarianism. Sweets, post-activity and not daily. Fruit, 1 to 2 servings per day, emphasize berries. No liquid sugar, no juices or sodas. Plate rule, even as a guest. Visually, half vegetables, a quarter protein, and a quarter smart carbs. Nutritional control markers weekly. Morning stiffness, -1 point on a 0 to 10 scale from baseline. Waist or problem joint girth, -0.5 to 1 centimeter. Reactive pain after walking or swimming improves rather than accumulates. Sleep, more stable, fewer awakenings, faster sleep onset. GI, no consistent heaviness or bloating, regular stools. What not to do. Don't replace food with collagen. It's a supplement, not a meal. Don't add sugar for calories. It spoils protein via glycation. Don't fry to charcoal. That's extra oxidative byproducts. Don't take calcium mixed with iron or zinc. They compete. If progress stalls, 10 to 14-day quick fix plan. Cut smart carbs by 20 to 30%. Keep them post-activity. Increase protein by 10 to 20 grams per day. Bring broth back daily, 300 to 400 milliliters. Collagen, steadily, 2 times a day, 5 to 10 grams. Vitamin C from the plate, cabbage plus pepper/berries daily. Magnesium to the upper tolerable dose without diarrhea. Enzymes with the densest meals for 2 to 3 weeks. Stress management. Pre-sleep breathing plus digital sunset. Part takeaway. Daily joint lubrication is a plate, not a pill. Protein 1.5 grams per kilogram, collagen-rich dishes, vitamin C and fiber, gentle fats and smart carbs used purposefully and precise supplement timing. This pattern not only feeds the matrix and mineralization, but also lowers background inflammation, helping water and movement do their job. Part 4. Low-impact training, an 8-week progression, breathing technique, modifications, and self-monitoring. Brief aim of this part. Restore movement without flare-ups using water as the base environment. Teach how to dose volume and intensity with clear scales. Provide ready pool complexes and dry day sessions with modifications for knees, lower back, and shoulders. Explain how to combine training with nutrition and supplements to accelerate tissue remodeling. Core principles, remember. Frequent and moderate beats rare and hard. Weekly load increase, no more than 10 to 20% by time or total distance. Technique, breathing, and long glide matter more than speed. Pain that persists for more than 24 hours post-session signals a rollback in volume and/or exercise changes. Warm up in water, 8 to 10 minutes every session. Water walking in shallow end 3 to 4 minutes. Steps forward, back, sideways, neutral posture, soft foot placement. Shoulder circles, gentle trunk rotations, soft wall-supported squats, 2 to 3 minutes. Breathing with exhalation into water, 2 to 3 minutes. Exhale 1 to 2 counts longer than inhale, no breath holds. Breathing technique, unload with a metronome. Exhale into water always longer than inhale, lowers sympathetic tone, stabilizes technique, protects neck and lower back. Exhale on effort. Use an economical inhale during glide. If you can't say a short phrase at the wall, the pace is too high. Slow down. 8-week progression in water. Week 1. Adaptation. Meet the medium. 3 sessions, 30 to 40 minutes. 10 minutes water walking and wall bicycle, 10 to 15 minutes kick work with a board, freestyle, or backstroke. 5 to 10 minutes breathing and glide. Goal, get used to water, breathing rhythm, pressures, and support. Week 2. Volume without haste. 3 to 4 sessions, 40 to 45 minutes. Add 4 to 6 lengths of 25 to 50 meters breaststroke or backstroke. 1 to 2 minutes water walking between reps. 5 to 7 minutes balance drills with a noodle. Side steps, calf raises, light half squats by the wall. Week 3. Up to an hour. No surges. 4 sessions, 45 to 55 minutes. 6 to 8 lengths total at an easy style. Emphasize long glide, walk and breathe between reps. Foot and ankle work, 5 minutes. Heel to toe rolls, draw circles, figure 8 tool if available. Week 4. First full hour. 4 to 5 sessions, 50 to 60 minutes. 8 to 10 lengths total. 10 minutes coordination aqua aerobics with noodle or board. Cool down 5 to 7 minutes on back. Goal, a comfortable hour without next day setback. Week 5. Consolidate plus intervals. 4 to 5 sessions, 55 to 60 minutes. Insert 4 to 6 interval reps of 25 to 50 meters, slightly brisk. Rest until breathing is even. Total 10 to 12 lengths. Water strength, 5 to 10 minutes. Wall push-ups, noodle pulls, hip abductions. Week 6. Quality of glide. 4 to 5 sessions, 60 minutes. Dedicate 10 to 15 minutes to technique. Long pull, high elbow, glide. 8 to 10 lengths at a conversational pace. 5 minutes easy backstroke to unload neck and lumbar spine. Week 7. Stabilizers up. 4 to 5 sessions, 60 minutes. 10 to 12 lengths total, 10 minutes balance and core in water. Short, soft fins, 5 to 10 minutes if needed to feel water and recruit glutes without knee overload. Week 8. Consolidation. 4 to 5 sessions, 60 minutes. Mix. 6 to 8 lengths technique plus 4 to 6 lengths intervals. Lab-style attention to sensations. Cool down 5 to 7 minutes. Focus, stable hour, no pain rebound, and progress in distance per time. Dry day kits, 10 to 20 minutes at home. Daily joint hygiene, 10 minutes. Neck, tilts, turns, 30 to 40 seconds each, no jerks. Shoulders and thoracic, circles, angel wings at the wall, tau slides. Hips, cat-cow, pelvic tilts, hip openers standing with support. Knees and ankles, foot rolls, soft half squats with support. Core 2 to 3 times a week, 15 to 20 minutes. Side plank on knees or elbows, 3 times 20 to 40 seconds. Glute bridge, 3 times 10 to 15, 1 to 2 second pause at the top. Band rows for scapula seated or standing, 3 times 12 to 15. Bird dog, 3 times 8 to 10 with breath control.
Modifications for risk zones, knees and menisci. Less frog-style pushes, breaststroke, more freestyle kicks with a board and backstroke. Avoid abrupt terminal extensions. Keep the knee tracking over the foot line. Lower back. Avoid hyperextension on front strokes, more backstroke or side with board. Maintain neutral pelvis. Core work mandatory 2 to 3 times per week. Shoulders. Exclude butterfly and aggressive freestyle until recovered. Shorter pull, elbow above wrist, neutral neck. Use more backstroke and glide. Self-monitoring scales. Keep notes. Before session. Morning stiffness 0 to 10. Resting heart rate, energy level 0 to 10. After session. Pain immediately at 2 hours and at 24 hours 0 to 10. Swelling, tape around problem joint, weekly photo or video of range. Sleep, sleep onset, awakenings, feeling restored. Adjustment rules by sensation. If pain greater than 4 out of 10 holds beyond 24 hours, roll back volume by 20 to 30% for 7 to 10 days. If pulling appears mid-session, slow the pace, lengthen rests, switch to backstroke or water walking. Introduce new elements one at a time for 1 to 2 weeks, not 3 changes at once. Pairing with nutrition and supplements on water days. 30 minutes to 60 minutes pre-session, light snack plus 5 to 10 grams collagen. Post-session, broth plus protein plus smart carbs plus cabbage 100 to 150 grams. Evening, magnesium, sleep, tone reduction, D3 plus K2 with food per plan. Water, add 300 to 500 milliliters around the session. Example weekly schedule, base. Monday, pool 45 to 55 minutes, technique plus walking. Tuesday, dry 15 minutes plus 6 to 8K steps. Wednesday, pool 55 to 60 minutes, 8 to 10 lengths conversational. Thursday, active rest, gentle mobility, 8 to 10K steps. Friday, pool 60 minutes, intervals 25 to 50 meters by 4, rest to even breath. Saturday, dry 15 to 20 minutes, walk. Sunday, rest, measurements, planning. Common mistakes and fixes. Rare but hard, switch to 3 to 5 short weekly sessions, progress 10 to 20%. Chasing speed, return to technique and breathing. Long glide reduces micro-trauma risk. Quit due to pulling pain, reduce volume or tempo, move to backstroke and walking, add cool down and breathing. Zero sleep, evening magnesium, digital sunset, 4 to 6 minutes breathing. No remodeling without sleep. 8-week control goals. 60 minutes in water without next day flare.
10 to 12 lengths at conversational pace within the hour. Morning stiffness down 30 to 50% from baseline. Less swelling, more range, steadier sleep. Bonus: quick day mini kits, 20 to 30 minutes in the pool. Technical option: 5 minutes walking and breathing. 6 times 25 meters backstroke technique, long glide. 4 times 25 meters kicks with board, freestyle, rest by breath. 3 minutes cool down, exhale into water. Soft cardio option: 10 minutes water walking with variations. 6 times 25 meters breaststroke pure technique, long exhale. 5 minutes noodle aqua aerobics, balance and coordination. Cool down 3 to 5 minutes on back. Stab strength option: 8 minutes walking and breathing. 3 times 10 wall push-ups, 3 times 12 noodle pulls, 3 times 12 hip abductions. 4 times 25 meters backstroke, 3 to 4 minutes exhalations into water. Part takeaway: water is the ideal medium to restore movement without the price tag of pain. It lowers axial load, improves tissue nourishment, and lets volume grow safely. Add short, dry sessions, the 10 to 20% progression rule, breathing technique, and regular self-monitoring. And in 6 to 8 weeks, you'll have an hour of movement without setbacks, better range, and calmer sleep.
Part 5. System Assembly, Daily and Weekly Checklists, Mistakes, Plan B/C, Scenario Hooks, and Results Tracking. Brief aim of this part: unify nutrition, supplements, and training into one scheme. Provide simple progress tracking tools without labs or gadgets. Show what and how to change if progress stalls for 2 to 3 weeks. Offer ready attention anchoring phrases for videos and tips for narration. Daily checklist: 10 minutes of planning. Water: 30 to 35 milliliters per kilogram per day, some before and after pool sessions. Coffee up to 2 cups, offset with water. Protein: target 1.5 gram per kilogram, split into 3 to 4 meals. Anchors are lunch and dinner. Collagen: 5 to 15 grams, 15 minutes before 1 to 2 main meals. On water days, 1 serving 30 to 60 minutes pre-pool, the second after. Vitamins and minerals: D3 plus K2 with meals. Calcium, lactate or citrate, in split servings, separate. Magnesium in the evening. Plate: 500 grams vegetables and greens per day. 100 to 150 grams sauerkraut, a daily vitamin C source from the plate. Excludes sweet drinks. Movement: 8 to 10K steps or 45 to 60 minutes in water. Dry joint hygiene: 10 to 15 minutes. Sleep and stress: 7 to 8 hours. Digital sunset: 60 minutes before bed. 4 to 6 minutes of breathing. Exhale longer than inhale. Weekly progress checklist: morning stiffness: -1 point on a 0 to 10 scale versus last week is normal. Rising pain means step back. Water/load: +5 to 10 minutes to total time or +1 to 2 lengths, but no more than 10 to 20% weekly increase. Swelling: -0.5 to 1 centimeter in the problem joint circumference by week's end is a good sign. Nutrition: 5 to 6 days without liquid sugar. 1 free meal is acceptable, but not a free day. Supplements: D3 plus K2 at least 5 of 7 days. Calcium and magnesium as planned. Collagen 1 to 2 times daily. Typical mistakes and quick fixes: rare and heavy, frequent and moderate. 10 to 20% weak progression. Technique over speed. Collagen instead of food. Restore 1.5 gram per kilogram protein, vitamin C from the plate daily. Temporary enzymes with the densest meals if it still feels that way. Naked calcium: only with D3 and K2. Use lactate or citrate, split doses, magnesium in the evening. Daily liquid sugar: remove entirely.
fruit in portions, emphasize berries. Sleep debt, evening magnesium, breathing, digital sunset, 7 to 8 hours of sleep as priority. Chasing speed in the pool, return to breathing and glide, backstroke or board, short intervals with full breath recovery. Plan B for 10 to 14 days if progress stalls. Load, cut volume by 20 to 30%, keep frequency, 1 full rest day per week, more backstroke segments in water. Nutrition, plus 10 to 20 gram protein per day, broth 300 to 400 milliliters daily, smart carbs only post-activity, sweets to 0. Supplements, collagen consistently 2 times per day, 5 to 10 grams, vitamin C from the plate daily, magnesium up to upper tolerable dose without diarrhea. GI, enzymes with the densest meals for 2 to 3 weeks, monitor stool and bloating, fewer coarse raw salads, more cooked vegetables. Routine, 4 to 6 minutes of pre-sleep breathing, digital sunset, 7 to 8 hours of sleep as priority. Outcome markers by weeks 12 to 16. Pain after daily activities resolves within 24 hours without NSAIDs. Morning stiffness, minus 30 to 50% from baseline, range in the problem joints noticeably larger. Water, 60 minutes without next day setback, 10 to 12 lengths at a conversational pace. Outwardly, less periarticular swelling, firmer skin, less visible orange peel pattern. Behaviorally, less avoidance, more confidence in stepping and moving. Final assembly by the shelf. Matrix, protein 1.5 gram per kilogram, collagen 5 to 15 grams times 1 to 2 times, vitamin C from the plate. Mineralization, calcium lactate or citrate in split doses, D3 and K2 together and regular, magnesium in the evening. Environment, water 3 to 5 times per week for 45 to 60 minutes, 8 to 10K steps, dry joint hygiene 10 to 15 minutes. Hygiene, 7 to 8 hours of sleep, stress management, 0 liquid sugar, minimal alcohol. Monitoring, weekly measurements and notes. If pain rises, step back on volume. This isn't a collection of life hacks, but a working tissue remodeling system. Material, collagen and protein, logistics, D3 and K2, safety and cofactors, magnesium, environment, water and frequent gentle load, plus time and sleep. These are its 5 pillars. Give it 12 to 16 weeks of consistency, and joints will start responding with movement without the price tag of pain.